session. I'm your host, Loren Meadows of GatorBaitMedia.com with the best shoe game in the Gator media, and we got another good one for you this evening. We are 1 week away from the start of fall camp for the Florida football team. But before we get into that, we check in with Florida women's basketball coach and friend of the show, Kelly Rae Finley, as she fills us in on her new life as a new mom and what to expect from the Gators next season. Florida great Ben Troupe joins the show with his monthly edition of What's Got Troupe Trippin', and Rob Browne of SEC Sidelines joins us to talk a little Florida Gators, Big Ten and ACC media days, and are the Gators still being overlooked based on some of the preseason teams? Kicks of the Week is in the building, and of course we play Hyper Have At It with a little Midwest flair. I want to give a shout out to our producer for the evening, Chad Ritter, for joining the Sideline Live team. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging. Please like and subscribe to the Lowdown with Loren Meadows on YouTube and Facebook, and follow yours truly on Instagram at Ohio Gator for Life and X at Real Ohio Gator. Let's get to it. So we got a treat for you tonight. Friend of the show, my girl, my buddy.
You got
Kelly
it.
Rae Finley. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh,
Loren.
yeah, absolutely. When I the brainchild, I got to give a shout out to my man David Arnoff up in the Panhandle. This is kind of his brainchild, but obviously, you always at the top of the list of guests I want to have on the show. And
well,
it's been a busy 6 months for you, huh?
It has. Just a little bit busy.
New addition to the family, young Lakin.
Yeah.
How's things going as a new mom?
He's getting big and everything's going well. I've been blessed, guys. I don't know, but starting at about 4 weeks, he was sleeping pretty much through the night with like waking up one time. I'm like, oh, I can get used to this. This is good. But luckily, his dad is a champ, and Sean is just the consummate parent and ultimate partner. So that's been really fun.
Right. Well, shout out to Sean for sure, man. Tell him hello. And, it's funny, we've been friends a while, and, you had this thing going, but now you got this glow about you, and it's nice.
Well, now it's time, Laura, for me to get back in shape.
Right. Oh, well, no, you
out of shape things. So
I think you held it together pretty well. You held it in to about 8.5 months, and still coaching and getting after it. But no, just this past off season had a lot of success. Obviously, a nice run again in the SEC tournament. We're right there on the cusp of making the NCAA tournament, but once again, a great run in the WBIT, right?
Yeah, they're switching up on us now.
Yeah, and made the Final Four there. We're able to go and play at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Unfortunately, you had some work to do that day, missed the semifinal game. But just talk about last season. You had a great senior class with people like Gerard Warren, Kenza Salgas, some unsung type of people, really going to miss Gerard's leadership and that kind of thing. But you got some new people and some people to be excited about, particularly, I think, at the guard position. So just, what's the team looking like? Where are we at? Obviously, you bring back Liv McGill, all SEC freshman. Layla Reynolds, former McDonald's All-American, continues to improve every day, and obviously Miara Neal, who's maybe your most versatile player from the outside looking in, but just the roster as a whole, where are you guys at right now?
Yeah, no, thank you for, the acknowledgement to last season. I think we had some early adversity, but it's been fun to build with the same core group with some stability and consistency in the off season right now. And so we have a unique summer, Loren, because we had 6 players playing with their national teams.
Okay.
And that's just really, I think it's really unique. We might be the only team in the country where that was the case, maybe other than somebody like a South Florida, right? But Liv making USA U19 roster, that's a big deal. And then Davi with the Spanish national team, she just got back. And then Mills and Nitty's already actually been down to school, but those two just competed in the U19 World Championships where Australia finished second to the U.S. Unfortunately, Australia and Canada played each other to go to the championship game. So, and then Katerina, a center for us from Italy, she'll be playing in the U20 championships in Portugal here at the beginning of the month in August. So it'll be fun for us in the fall to have everybody back. And then Lex Dizeko returns to us, which was a huge addition for us, which she could have turned pro and she chose not to. And then Sarah Dang, she's originally from Australia, but playing for the South Sudanese team. Those two are playing in the Ivory Coast in the AfroBasket Championships.
Okay.
Here at the end of the month. So it's been kind of a crazy summer for us, but we bring back, our freshmen they're not traditional freshmen, right? They've been away from home before. They've trained in more of a pro style training system in terms of, you doing your individuals, you're doing your team practice, those things of that nature. But, being able to retain Liv, Miara, and Layla was huge for us just for the consistency and building in our team. And I think that it shows the excitement and the investment that we have towards winning and towards championships here with women's basketball.
Yeah. And speak to when you talk about people returning in this world of transfer portal and NIL and where these three seem to be committed to what you all are building at the University of Florida, what the University of Florida offers you as a student athlete, the experiences. I know Layla's, one of the most popular athletes on campus. And, obviously Liv, I'm sure, I'm not necessarily saying she wanted to leave, but, you see that a lot of times. But, speak to what that means to have that type of commitment, that type of loyalty in those three. And then, bringing on, Jade and Kanisha and then, and I've heard, and you can kind of on the back end, just the athletic ability that Sarah could bring
Absolutely.
to the open floor, to add in with a Liv McGill.
Well, I'm glad you brought Jade and Kanisha up because I was just going to touch on that. Out of the transfer portal, being able to have the addition of those two with their experience, their personalities, their connection, what they're going to be able to bring both on and off the court is going to be invaluable to our team. But, to your question, Loren, I think, oh gosh, it's a day and age of that might be almost an impossible feat that which we were able to pull off, right? But it is. It's loyalty. It's a whole lot of old school approach to everything that they do. But it's a huge testament to their families, their upbringing, who they are as people, their character, and what they're all about, and their belief in, not only me but themselves and what we're building and trying to do something for the first time. So the vision is strong. And those who have been there since the beginning I think are really going to enjoy seeing the improvement on the court.
And what is, we talk about, I've heard, everybody's in the weight room working hard, things like that. But one of the things that stood out is I've heard that Sarah Dang, who, like you said, is playing for the South Sudanese team, and shout out to the South Sudanese. I know that they've really invested in basketball in that country, and it's kind of been a bright light on some of the situations that Luau Dang, I think, has put some of his own personal money into that and things like that. But Sarah and I just hear she, great athlete.
She's
you already
fast.
got some really, really good athletes, but her speed and really being able to maybe change the game. And now you got two quick hitters at the guard position.
Absolutely.
That can lead the team.
Yeah, between Sarah and Kanisha, I think you're going to see something a little similar to my interim year. You think about Zippy, you think about Kiki. Sarah's also a lefty, guys. So those of you that remember Kiara Smith, she's got a lot of the same tendencies and qualities that Kiki had. She is her own self, and we want her to be that. But in terms of style of play, very, very similar, which is going to allow Liv to be able to, be on ball, move off ball, be in positions that we need from a scoring standpoint as well. And then I think y'all are really going to be impressed with Miara O'Neill's improvement. And I'm very proud of her and her focus and determination to stay focused on her own process and her own development, and not looking to her right and left, which we all know in the day and age of social media is very difficult to do.
Right. And she does pretty good on the socials, though. I got to give her credit.
She does. Come on, everybody go give the Gators women's basketball players some follows.
Definitely.
Okay? We gotta get those up.
Follow Liv McGill and follow me, R. O'Neill, and my girl Layla Reynolds.
Absolutely.
And shout out to my man James Reynolds out there, doing his thing. He's always sending me pictures of what he's cooking on the grill and that kind of thing. But Liv McGill, very successful freshman year, all SEC freshman, had a really nice run in the SEC tournament as well as the WBIT. What have your conversations been like with her in just taking that next step? We all know that what her aspirations are, but taking that next step, starting to come out of that shell, and not only just as a person, but where that can evolve into your game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Liv and I have had good conversation just centered around the mental side of the game. Nobody prepares better than she does. And there's thought and preparation in all that she does. Her care for her body is elite. But, just being able to bring others along to elevate our program and really move an entire group, that's been my challenge to those three, but mostly to her and Layla. As right now, it's important Miara focuses on elevating her game. And so you're going to see really, really great leadership from those two. And it's interesting because today, Loren, we talked as a team about quarter 1, quarter 2, 3, 4, and then the second game, which is the NCAA tournament. And missing the tournament is not something that we want to do. But misstepping in the non-conference can keep you from what your goals are, right? And so being prepared earlier, playing our best basketball just a little bit earlier is going to be advantageous for us. But Liv is that core group returning is a key part in that, as well as our transfers. And so just the responsibility that comes with that, it can feel like a lot of pressure, but pressure is a privilege.
Right.
Like we hear so many people say. And this is what we've dreamed of, right? This is what you dreamed of. This is the stage that you wanted to be on, and the moment is now. So step to the moment, and you're going to be great.
Well, no doubt. And addition to the coaching staff, Coach Fred comes over from Auburn. Experienced coach, brings a lot of experience to the table, a lot of good traits, excellent recruiter.
Yeah.
What has he meant just in the short term with the staff, and just how are things going as you return? Shout out to Coach CJ, Coach Jackie, Coach Dan, and really round out, what continues to be a great group of basketball coaches.
Yeah, Coach Fred has really elevated what we're able to do, just having his experience and his expertise. And you look on his wall and it's, Cheryl Swoops, and it's, we won this championship. And when you're we talked as a team, like I said today, about what do you want? Well, I want to win. Okay, well, it's our job as coaches to give them the process to win and to show them the progression of what that looks like. And Coach Fred is going to be instrumental in that. But, if you've never done something before, you don't know what it looks like, right? And so Coach Fred has that experience. Coach CJ has seen that. She's done it. She's lived it. She's built it, right? And so just having that vision on your staff, I think, is invaluable. But, Coach Fred can touch in so many different areas, right? He is going to spearhead our defense. We're going to get back to being able to press the whole game and get up and defend. Oh, look who we got here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. The big chicken himself.
Yeah. We got the big hitters out here for sure. We bring it all.
Look,
and we do a segment.
We
do a segment every once a month. It's called "What's Got Troupe Tripping." So what's
got you tripping? Come on.
We got to finish up, because once he gets going, I gotta get you in.
I need to hear what's got him tripping.
Well, that's why I said, if you want to hang out and hear what's got Troupe tripping, but we got to get some things first, because I want to tell you, and this, you know how we feel about you, and There's only few people from Minnesota that outweigh Prince in this household, and that would be Kelly Rae Finley for sure. Coming out of Minnesota, but we just kind of get to know you and hit you with a couple quick hitters, so people can see, that you're not all about the bouncing ball, but
absolutely.
And then we play a little segment, and I do have something for you because I do want to keep you on for that. It's kind of a surprise, but real quick. So you're making a drive back to your hometown of Minnesota from Gainesville to Minnesota.
Oh, that's long. All right.
Yeah. So give me 3 artists on the playlist.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I couldn't really give you that artist. Listen, Loren, I turned into a mom, right?
No, I'm talking about, we talking about, okay, take Lakin's at home with Sean. You're just making the trip. That's the
only playlist I got. Either that or what the team is playing. It's not really so much my vibe.
Okay.
But I'll listen to whatever's on the radio or a playlist that somebody wants to bless me with. I'm all for it. So.
Okay, I had to hit you up though for sure, but not Minneapolis's own Prince or none of that.
I don't know. The Palace, that was on my drive going to the lake from my house to the lake when I was growing up.
Right,
the Purple Palace. So.
Okay. Best favorite visiting SEC school, favorite SEC school to visit and play at.
To go play at? I got to give it to Texas, guys. They got an amazing environment. They've done a great job of creating experiences for their fans. It's not that I like the Longhorns. Don't get me wrong now. Come on, don't get it twisted. But they got a wine bar upstairs. They got couches out.
Wow.
This is a whole event. They got 50th birthday parties going on at the women's basketball. So I'm going to challenge us at Gator Nation. Let's level up and do the same thing here in Gainesville. We really turn the swamp up. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. And you're real good. I mean, pull up on Kelly, go check them out at practice.
Absolutely.
She's very welcoming, let you come in and check things out. We gotta
you
get.
You might see me not being quite so nice now, Loren. Come into our space and see how we work. Okay.
Well, you coaching them up. That's what it's about, And we got to get Ben's daughter up there for a visit and get her locked in as well. That we get that on the short order. But we also do a thing, Coach. We call it Kicks of the Week. So, I'm trying to impress you. So,
wow.
So, these pre-COVID, Ben, that's pre-COVID.
Oh, hold on. I guess I see some creases right there. So
what's that?
No,
don't do me like that. That's fresh. That's mid condition. Look at that toe box. That's tight. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
But we trying to do a little sponsorship, maybe get StockX or somebody to holler at us, GOAT. Kicks on fire, but we do a little Kicks of the Week. So that's the retro. Look at it. Here he comes again.
Okay, with the patent.
Okay. Yeah, that's her style. She like the ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but
I got some new Gator skin ones. If I would have known, I would have brought them out.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to get you, but that's these 11s. Like I said, they ain't been out since 19. Those
are the OGs right there.
Yeah, that's the original. So like I said, try to keep them nice, and everything, but. So that's the Kicks of the Week. And then finally, before we let you go, we do a little thing called Hyper Have At It. So, but since you didn't want to talk a little football, we'll keep it simple. But
listen, I rock with the Gators. So if you're talking about are the Gators all hype, absolutely not. The Gators are going to come for everybody in the swamp, and we're going to get it this year. Okay.
All right. So that's Have At It. But let me ask you this. And I mean, it's probably easy answer, but we'll ask this one. Shout out to my wife, Marcia, from someone who's from Minneapolis. Prince is the greatest guitarist to ever live. Hyper Have At It.
I don't know. I'd have to ask. I would probably gonna say that's a Have At It.
Okay.
I would have to agree.
Okay.
But I can't say that I'm just this elite savant, with guitarists.
Right.
A little outside my realm. Okay.
Right. Well, shout out to the guys Clapton and Gainesville's own Tom Petty as well. Ben, what you think? Weigh in on that. Hyper have at it.
I mean, that's how bad. I'm not going to go against Prince. I mean, I have a
right,
life to
that's
live.
what I'm saying.
I have a life to live in this, and I think I'm like a coach though. I'm not. I mean, would Jimi Hendrix be considered a guitarist? I mean, would that be considered?
He up there too.
Yeah. I don't want to put nobody against Prince because Prince just could play the guitars. That's one of his many talents. So
exactly, and as a Minnesotan, I gotta give him the shout out. So come on, of course, I gotta stay loyal. Hello.
And then for the Minnesota flair, Hyper have at it. Poutine and Juicy Lucy's. Is that a hype or is it have at it?
I think that's a hype. That's hype. That's hype.
That's hype. Not a fan, huh?
I don't know about all that. You know, we like the casserole up there in Minnesota. You know, don't you know? You know, I could give you some other Minnesotan things other than that, but you know.
Right. Okay. So Poutine and Juicy Lucy. Now I'm down with the Juicy Lucy. Yeah. I've been to Matt's and I in a monsoon rain pour. I went to Matt's and stood in line. So me and Obama, we've been to Matt's.
You made it happen. I love it.
Yeah. What about you, Ben? You hip to Poutine and the Juicy Lucy?
Listen, man. I mean, I don't know if y'all talking about characters on a cartoon or whatever. Y'all talking about a place to eat. I have not been to Poutines or Juicy Lucy. So I have not been.
Well, come on, Ben. Come up to Minnesota and see what all the hype's all about.
We had to make a trip, Ben. Juicy Lucy it's like a double cheeseburger with molten cheese in it, Ben. When you bite into it, the cheese just drip out of it.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, you with that? Okay, yeah, that's what I said. Now poutine is more like cheese. It's kind of a you know. I'm not gonna dog them like that. But before we let you go, Coach, and appreciate you playing along.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Before you go, we will let you be the first to witness what's got Troupe tripping. What's got Troupe tripping?
Okay, well, I mean, that, you know, because I knew Coach was going to be on. What got me tripping is why everybody getting so mad at the WNBA players saying, pay us what you owe us. You know what I don't like about that?
Thank you. Go ahead.
This is what I don't like about that, right? We act as if the average basketball player, male or female, could even stay on the court with these women. You couldn't. Listen, you could not do it. And the TV deal is about to kick in. The WNBA is at its height when we all are going to the games. I'm not a fan of people keep saying, women don't deserve this and women don't deserve that. Look, go to the game. Some of the best games you're going to see is in the WNBA. Yes, I am very biased because I am a girl dad. Yes, I am very biased because I know how
go show up. See what it is for yourself.
Well, I do show up. And here's the thing, right? Everybody was all up in arms. They were talking about pay us what you owe us. Name a job that anybody's had professionally that didn't ask what you want. Nobody in professional sports does more teamwork and collaboration than the WNBA. They don't care about rivalries and games like that. Put the shirt on, let them know, listen, because we got to do this together. I am rocking with the WNBA. I always have. I just don't like all these analysts and columnists and journalists, if that's what you want to call yourself, talking about what are these women doing. Listen to me. Most of us won't ever get a chance to even go to college for a sport, let alone professionally. Don't get mad because it ain't you. Just be supportive. So I am full support of it. And like I said, may Kobe Bryant rest in paradise. I think Kobe was going to be the one to change it all. I think he was going to be the one. I just want to be on that hype train. And like I said, Coach Kelly Rae, I got a daughter, right? She is a Troupe. And let me tell you something. My daughter growing up used to always play against the boys, not because she thought she couldn't compete with the boys. She's saying, Daddy, they ain't better than us. I'm telling you, they are not better than us. And like I say, man, just because you're 6'10" don't mean you're nice. And just because you're 5'10" don't mean you ain't.
Absolutely.
No doubt. And with that, let's bring in Rob Browne from SEC Sideline just to say hello to Coach before we let you go. What's up, Rob?
All right. I've got to show you my shoes.
Oh, wow.
That's the you know what kickers right there, Rob.
These are Danner snake boots. And, I'm over here at the farm right outside of Memphis, and we've got rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and copperheads
Loren,
everywhere.
You gotta help Rob out. Come on.
We gonna when I go to the Ole Miss game, I'm gonna hook up with Rob in Memphis. We're gonna go out and get some kicks for sure.
Hey, I'll tell you what. You're talking about Prince. When he came up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and did a salute to George Harrison, Feel My Guitar Gently Weep, Jeff
Yep.
Lynne from ELO, Steve Winwood, Donnie Harrison, George Harrison's son, Tom Petty. Go watch that on YouTube tonight. That's unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, as Prince is a guitarist, I'll put him up there with Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Page. He was that good of a guitarist.
Right.
That's pretty strong.
I might have to go study my guitar.
Well, it's rumored that after that performance, somebody asked Eric Clapton, how does it feel to be the greatest living guitarist? And he said, I don't know. Go ask Prince. So that's rumored that. But Coach, we're not going to keep you. Appreciate you coming on. I'm going to pull up on you soon. For
Absolutely.
sure.
And hey, we really appreciate you all and your support, and we look forward to seeing you guys this season.
Absolutely. That's Kelly Rae Finley, head coach of the women's Florida Gators. Great lady, great friend of the show. Happy to call her a friend, and doing big things there with that women's basketball team. Rob, what's happening?
Tell you what, a couple other Minnesota terms, and you hear in the upper Midwest where we pheasant hunt in South Dakota. Oh, don't you know? Yeah. And they love fricassees. Yeah, I mean, what is a fricassee? It's like, stew and macaroni and cheese with double cheese and triple cheese on it. It's cold up there. They eat a lot of good stuff like fricassees, though. But
Right.
I was listening to y'all and, talking about the sports world, man. You are what the market will pay you. If the market will pay you, they'll pay you. I mean, whatever. I think everything we're talking about with NIL, nobody cares about players getting paid. It's just like Ben knows this. You have a contract, you got to fulfill the contract. So I think we're on the other side of this stuff. We're starting to figure it out. The market's going to figure it out, and people need to start realizing. And Ben said it, and you said it, Loren. If we will get through this, and the closer we get to kickoff, it's less of a big deal. That's just
right.
my
no doubt. And last week, Rob and Ben, Rob, you were at the SEC Media Days there in Atlanta. Ben, we talked about it at length about kind of what was going on, some of the hype. And this week, the Big Ten and the ACC kind of wander into things, doesn't have the same, gusto. But Rob, you talk to different people, and Ben, you've been around and in your work with ESPN. It's just not the same with those squads, Ben. I mean, just with that group and with the ACC and the Big Ten.
Yeah, because I think the thing about the Big Ten is very, very top heavy. The ACC is extremely top heavy. And I think sometimes the SEC coaches and players, they get it. They understand, man, this is where we show up and show out, right? This is where we get to come and kind of flex a little bit. We understand what the Big Ten has done in 2024 and 2023, and ain't nobody trying to take that away. The ACC, what happens is when the usual suspects aren't the best teams, it's hard to say when it's not Clemson, when it's not North Carolina, when it's not Miami, you start saying to yourself, where's the ACC going? And I think the biggest thing about the SEC is the SEC has star power at all levels. The school, the head coach, and the players. The ACC and Big Ten don't have that. Sometimes it's just the school. Sometimes it's just the players. Sometimes it's just the coaches. When you talk about the SEC versus the ACC and the Big Ten, they have all three levels. And like I said, do people think the SEC has monopolized everything when it comes to sports collegiately? No, it just looked like that. It just looks like, why is everybody talking about the SEC? Because they make it a point to do that, to where when Vanderbilt is being talked about in the same breath as Alabama because of what happened in 2024, they understand, hey, man, we don't want to just be another team here. We want to, yes, we got a very, very exciting quarterback that's coming back for another year. I just think that when the ACC is at its best, they had a Deshaun Watson. They had a Lamar Jackson. They had a Trevor Lawrence. They had a Jameis Winston. When the Big Ten is at its best, right, and I get Michigan and Ohio State, Penn State is there. They want to come to the party, but after that, it's a bunch of, Indiana, so I just think that while I respect the ACC and the Big Ten, they're the one clamoring for Greg Sankey. We got to go to more teams. Got to go to more. Greg Sankey is the most powerful person in collegiate sports. He ain't gonna say that, but he knows that. Hey man, shout out to I've been to the ACC media days compared to SEC. It's like you walking into a crazy place in SEC media days. ACC, man, everybody's polite. It's quiet in there. Everybody, it is. SEC got Arch Manning walking by Paul Feinbaum, saying what's up to him. Lane Kiffin don't even got media availability coming up there. It's a who. Listen, one is a who's who, and the other one's a who is that. I think the SEC is who's who. I think the ACC and Big Ten take nothing away from Coach Day and what he's doing. Congratulations to him. I just think that just from a branding aspect, you got to do it for the entire conference, just not just your team when you show up to these type of events.
Right. And Rob, is it just the fact that the SEC has, Nashville at their disposal? They have Atlanta at their disposal. They have the nostalgia of Birmingham, where it's like Charlotte, football, it's more racing. We like to hoop, and then Indianapolis, obviously we know what sport is king in Indiana. Yeah. Is it just that? Is it just because, and the fact that when you really look at it, there's very little parity, or there's becoming very little parity in those leagues. So, for them to garner that type of attention, like Ben said, without the star power, is it just, these events this week, it's almost like they should go first, not come behind the SEC.
Well, nobody wants to follow the GOAT. And that's what they're trying to do. And I was at media days. I hadn't been to ACC media days, but my friend Chuck Oliver in Atlanta, who does a great show every day, right after us, calls it, a brown liquor and crab cakes affair in the big ACC. It's just it used to be the preppy league, and it still is. And just, football was just never as important as basketball for a long time. You get down to the Southeastern Conference, you're tailgating on the bed of your pickup truck, drinking cold beer, eating boiled peanuts. That's what we like. And there's 80, 90, 100,000 in a stadium, 60 or 70,000 tailgating outside the stadium. And
right.
As far as the Big Ten goes, we just get lectured to by the Big Ten. We're better than you in the SEC. We're smarter than you. We're morally superior. We don't cheat and buy players.
Right.
Yeah, I hope you're under a good wooden roof, buddy, because lightning can strike anybody. But I think that's what it is. And then the Big 12. I will say this. Heath Klein, Chuck's producer, was at Big 12 media days. And they had a panel at the end of each day of all 8 coaches up there, a round table. I think that's a great idea. Brett Yormack, the commissioner, is trying a lot of stuff. The cheerleaders and the mascots introduce the coaches when they come out on the stage. So I think, look, they're trying really hard, but the SEC, there were a lot of people that sounded like Elvis Presley. I think of, Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds or whatever. They sound just like him, but they're not Elvis. Ben's right. There's only one SEC, and you could do media days for 7 straight days. People say, well, people are sure going to watch it.
Right. Yeah.
If Ben said he had yet unseen nude photos of Marilyn Monroe in a bikini, everybody would want to watch and see Ben go, look at here.
Right.
That's just people. The SEC is the king of the mountain. And when you've played for 17 of the last 20 national championships, that's what you call street credibility.
Yeah, no doubt. And, you look at it with the way the SEC is going, and I think for them to strong arm, as Perry Mosey said, penny loafer conference, that dog won't hunt here. I would assume I hope he's talking about the ACC. I don't want to do my area that way, being from the Midwest, but penny loafer conference, but yeah, and then, as the Gators round out and we go back a little bit with SEC media days, is it fair to say that maybe still either the Florida Gators are still flying under the radar, or Rob, is it like waiting for the shoe to fall? They were picked sixth. They did have a couple linemen on the first team. I was kind of shocked that Lenore Sellers was the first team quarterback, but just really not seeing a lot of floor. I think Caleb Banks was second team on defense, but you just don't see Tyreek Sapp third team, but just still kind of, they'll be good. They'll win, 8 games, 9 games. Is it the schedule, or is it just still there are some people that doubt what Billy Napier and his staff can put together?
I think it's a lot of people waiting for the other shoe to drop. Billy Napier can coach. He's redefined the culture at Florida. He's got it. These are his players. Pretty much everybody on that roster, Ben, Loren, wouldn't it be fair to say, signed up for what Billy Napier believes in, what he and his staff believe in. So I think that Florida, I got them to win 10 games. Look, people made a big deal out of that schedule last year, and that's with Graham Mertz as the starting quarterback. We all knew DJ Lagway was a big-time prospect. But when he came in, any game he started and finished, the Gators didn't lose. Okay? I would compare his beginning very much to, and I'm not comparing him yet to Peyton Manning, but that's how Peyton Manning got his start. Remember the UCLA game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Colquitt went down. Helton went down later in the season. And here comes the kid out of Isidore Newman High School. Hell, I'm old enough to remember listening on my little AM radio, AM 750 WSB Atlanta. Well, Jimmy Womack not getting it done for the Dogs, and now they're going to bring in the freshman from Wrightsville, Georgia. Let's see what Herschel Walker can do. And
the
Womack
rest is
never
history.
got his starting slide back.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this seriously tonight. First off, how cool it is being on this show with y'all. I was sitting there going, Loren, we're talking to a Gator great. I mean, media days, it was really cool talking to people. And tell me, SEC Sideline Sports Network, this show, our channel, Brendan, Buddy, talking to Laura Rutledge. Man, she's what a Gator. My
Sharp
God,
lady.
she's
Yeah.
she loves Buddy and Brendan and this
Mm-hmm.
this whole deal. She has never forgotten the people that have helped her along the way. But I just think it's a lot of people waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they're afraid to say the Gators are going to be good. I think they're going to be really good, and I think, was it Caleb Banks, big defensive tackle? I talked to him at media days. I said, Caleb, how hard do y'all push each other in practice? How much do you love being pushed by your coaches? And I don't believe this narrative that kids in your generation don't want to be coached hard. I think you're begging for it. I think you're craving it. He looked at me and he goes, man, your brother goes down, you pick him up. He picks me up, I pick him up. He goes, that's how we get closer the harder we work. I love what Caleb Banks had to say. And I think he's been at Florida a while. That is a true Gator. Ben, you've worn that jersey. And by the way, what's your color that's your favorite? White, orange, blue? What's your favorite uniform?
Oh, them. I mean, I'm a big fan of the all blues. I never
Yeah,
got
the big game blue. There it is. Tell
That's
it,
what y'all
Ben.
call it?
All
Yeah,
blues,
big
man,
game
yeah.
blue. Yeah, that big game blue is
That is
sick.
badass.
Ugh. I got a buddy, man. He's gonna be on the show maybe in a couple of weeks. He's a big uniform guy, and we're gonna break down some of the unis. But Ben, you know the game. You've been around the game. You played it at a high level. This team, if there is a thing that's missing, is it there, and is it concrete? Can you put a finger on it, or is it just ready to pop? And you got DJ Lagway, you got Jaden Baugh, you got J. Michael Sturdivant, you got Trey Wilson, you got Trey Webb, you got Daniels at running back, you got Jacoby Jackson, you got Big Austin Barber, you got Jake Slaughter, you got Damian George, and then on defense you got my man Sapp, you got Miles Graham, who's a star in the making, you got Jordan Castell, you got Devin Moore, you got these guys, and it's there, and they're there. Is this team ready?
I believe so, and the reason why I say I believe they are ready is because something that Rob said. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As they used to tell us, it doesn't matter how many thoroughbreds if you don't turn them loose. You got to turn them loose, and I think he got them. I think to think about any great coach has great players. Any great coach, Is it Coach Day or is it Jeremiah Smith? It's both, because he was able to get a guy like that, right? When you think about DJ Lagway, as Rob mentioned, won every game he started in. I think the thing about Florida is this. People are afraid to say it because they know, dude, this is not the team you want to wake up. When they wake up, they're not going back to sleep. And I'm not saying they've been asleep. It's just Florida has created expectation outside of Gainesville. So when you look at Cole Cuban, you look at McElroy, you look at Ben Watson and these guys, they're not contractually obligated to say Florida's going to be good. They see what's coming. The things that make a team good is always the head coach that's been there, the culture that's been created, and the players that run the culture. I think they got all three. And I think a guy like DJ Lagway, when he said spot the ball, yep. I think DJ, it took him a year to realize, dude, it's different when you play in Florida. And that's taking nothing away from the other teams in the SEC. Florida doesn't lack anything. Florida is the best coaching job because it might be the hardest coaching job to do. Why would Urban Meyer say everywhere he been nothing compared to Florida? He's been in Ohio State. Why would Steve Spurrier say, yeah, man, I love my time at Duke of South Carolina? That ain't Florida. And all I'm saying is when you talk about this team as a whole, they don't have any weaknesses. What you have to do is you got to shore up your holes. Listen, Camardi McClain is one of the best examples of a young man when he leaves Colorado. Deion said, I just hope he go to a place that's going to coach him. They're coaching that young man. He's ready to be a starter. You talk about a guy like Tyreek Sapp who comes back because he knows I want to do two things. I want to win and I want to help them young boys figure out how to win. If you talk about Slaughter, he's the best center in the country. When you talk about our running back room, might be the best running back room in the country, not just even in the SEC. It's because of this though. His last name is Lagway, not Manning. And that's not DJ Lagway's fault, right? Lenore Sellers, he had a really, really good year up there in South Carolina, right? I'm taking nothing away from him. They expect LSU to be good, right? Georgia's Georgia. So you got your usual suspects. Florida had the hardest schedule in 2024. They went 8-5. The reason why don't nobody want to talk about it because it went against every narrative that was talked. Man, I don't even see them winning 6 games. They won 8. And every team they either lost to either had a chance to be in the college football playoff or was in the college football playoff. Miami just didn't win the ACC. Texas A&M lost to Texas. Obviously, Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas all went to the college football playoff. What I'm saying about this team this year is DJ Lagway, 2 things he did and no one gives him enough credit. He did not have to do what he did to help Coach Napier in the spring. He could have sat there. And just, no, I got your back, Coach, because I understand. I understand. And Dallas, you don't think Dallas Wilson know who DJ Lagway is? That boy was at Oregon, right? I'm asking, can I get out of it, Coach Dan Lanning? And listen, big shout out to a Dan Lanning, because coaches don't do that. That type of player, no, man, we're gonna have to go to court or something. I'm not letting you out. He let him out. When you look at what Florida was able to bring in to add what they already have, I'm telling you, Florida, the first thing you got to do, you got to have the players. Anytime Florida has been elite, whether they won the chip or not, they were elite. Florida has elite talent, not good talent. Because you could beat the best teams, you got to have elite talent. And all I'm saying is they just had this thing called 2020 NCAA 2026. They had Williams down there at Alabama, had Jeremiah Smith. What's that other kid they had? Why was DJ Lagway standing there next to Tebow? There's a reason. Hey, Tebow, hey, what? I think you want to be on the cover with this kid. I think this kid is – because – you know this, Rob, and you know this, Loren. Everybody wanted, everybody ain't built for it. DJ built for it. And now, because he's learned through trial by fire. I was there with a certain young man by the name of Chris Leak. His first start on the road was at LSU. And he won. Not because of him, but because we didn't let him be the reason why we lost. You got to protect your freshmen. You know? But the thing about DJ Lagway, and I'm going to keep saying this, the first touchdown pass against Georgia, why did they put the camera on Kirby Smart? Because he's like, what the? Because what I'm saying is, you got to listen. You got to let people know, man. Listen, man, we punch back, and we know y'all can bleed. Because Florida has been taking a lot of hits over the years, and rightfully so. Billy Napier is about as humble of a coach as he get, but he don't like none of them. That's how DJ is, man. I'm humble. I'm gonna say all the right things, but underneath it all, I think we better than y'all. When he said spot the ball, we ain't running for nobody. Well, we got LSU on the road, Miami on the road. We got to go to Texas A&M. But let me tell you something. When Arch Manning comes to Florida, I just hope that DJ Lagway understands the legacy of his uncle Peyton when it comes to Florida. Let's just keep that legacy going because I'm gonna keep saying this. As great as Peyton Manning was, and when he played in Tennessee, the team that let him, what was that thorn in your side? It was Florida. Because if we're doing it top to bottom, if you ain't got the quarterback, it don't matter what else you got. We got the guy at quarterback, and he wants to go out there and lead this squad. But we got a running game, we got an O-line, we got a D-line, we got a secondary, we got the coaches, we got the recruits coming in, and I just think now because they saw it last year, DJ go, I ain't nervous. Because now I know I'm the starter. It's one thing when I'm going to eventually be, and I had to play. It's different when I go, man, I'm healthy. I know what to expect. I'm running out there first game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he comes into his second year. But I also know this. I played with a Rex Grossman. I played with a Chris Lee. I played with a bunch of guys who understand, hey, man, we're not going to have no 1,000-yard receiver. But you don't need to have one when you got the many guys we got a running game. I think Florida has everything it needs. And I think Billy Napier wants to be able to talk to. I remember when Kobe Bryant said, I'm not going to have dinner with Magic Johnson until I win 5. Because I don't want to. And I think for Billy Napier he's had glimpses. He's never felt what it's like when Florida's really rocking. They say, dude, you feel this? Yeah, man.
Right.
And
Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to pay some bills, man. Let's talk about our folks at Meldon Law, proven and skilled lawyers since 1971. We won't back down. Meldon Law has been at the forefront of defending and protecting those that need representation for quite some time. Very committed to the Florida Gators and the Gainesville community. Jeffrey Meldon and his wife are out. I think they'll be back maybe this week from a whirlwind tour, but when they get back, they'll be ready to go to support the Gators. And once again, if you need anything and Meldon Law cannot help you with that, they will be able to put you in line with somebody that'll put you on the right track and get you into whatever law needs that you may have. Meldon Law, we won't back down, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. And Titan MRI Imaging. Titan MRI and Imaging was bought or has formed back with Joe Calorio, who started Highfield MRI in 1997. They have 3 locations, 2 in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, serving all of Columbia County and Valdosta, Georgia. Soon to be coming to Ocala to better serve Marion County and the surrounding area. Titan MRI offers the same great customer service. Titan MRI and Imaging now accepts insurance or through their convenient self-pay options. They offer MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, and ultrasounds, easy scheduling with lots of options, including evenings. Titan MRI and Imaging, it's your choice. All right, fellas, here we go. Hyper have at it. Let's talk a little bit. Florida, Hyper have at it. The media picked Florida to finish 6th in the SEC. Hyper have at it. Florida will finish better than 6th in the SEC, Rob.
I mean, they're in my top 6 because I've got Georgia, Texas, Bama, Texas A&M, Florida, and Oklahoma. That's my top 6. So, yeah, they'll finish in the top 6.
Okay. Ben?
Yeah, have at it. Absolutely. I got them finishing in the top 6. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but, yeah, I definitely got them finishing in the top 6 or better.
Okay. Someone other, Rob, than Clemson is capable of winning the ACC. Hyper have at it.
Louisville, Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech, I know everybody in Atlanta is like, no, don't say it. I think Georgia Tech, Brent Key is a good coach. Haynes King, it's very important he stay healthy. And you do know Haynes King, former Texas A&M quarterback, his father is the head of the Texas High School Football Coaches Association. He may be able to help you in recruiting Georgia Tech. Just maybe.
Maybe. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Ben,
someone other than Clemson is capable of winning the ACC. Hyper have at it.
Man,
come on, Ben.
You know
Keep
what?
it real, Ben. This is what it is. We only got about 6 minutes left. Keep it real.
SMU. I think SMU showed last year they ain't scared of nobody in the ACC, and I think they're gonna be back again this year. So I'm gonna go SMU.
Okay. Someone other than Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan can make a run in the Big Ten. Ben, hyper have at it.
Man, that's hype. I mean, ain't nobody. Here's the thing. I don't think no other team is prepared to make a run other than Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. I don't think those teams are contractually obligated to victory. I don't think they're allowed to do that.
Okay. Rob.
I concur with my esteemed colleague, Dr. Troupe. I don't think the other teams in the Big Ten even believe they can compete with Michigan and Penn State. And I mean, Michigan and Ohio State. Penn State has the problem too. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Just remember that.
Okay.
They're going to have to pay the price to be that, and it's going to be expensive.
Right. And finally, you brought up a point, Ben. Billy Napier calling plays. Is it time for everybody to just let that lie and let Billy call his plays? Billy Napier can remain the play caller and will continue and do a nice job of it. Hyper have at it.
Woo. I mean, I wish it was hype and he was not going to be calling them, but have at it. He's the head coach. It's what he's do. It's what he does. Like certain guys, it's just what they do. It's just we live in a social media era to where we gonna scratch and claw. Just don't go for it on fourth down. That's what I just don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. And Rob.
Yeah, let him do it because he is the head coach. He knows the personnel better than anybody, and he's got a quarterback coming back for a second year. Now, granted, people are going to have tape on DJ Lagway, but guess what? He's got tape on the opponents that he played last year. People don't ever give that, there's two sides to that coin. But, yeah, I mean, Ellis Johnson says on our show that he can coach quarterbacks and he can call plays. But if it doesn't work out, it could be costly. That's the problem.
Perry Mason, I'll just ask the questions. He said, Loren, can you let it lie? I am letting it lie. I'm just putting it out there. You can weigh in too, Perry. All right, before we go, parting shot, Ben, first week of Florida camp. If you were the head coach and you got about 30 seconds, what's the one thing in the first week of camp with an 8-5 team coming back with some expectations? What's the one thing you want to see from your football team?
Man, the main thing I want to see from them is, man, I want to see a level of consistency that only the practice field can bring. And we're gonna have a closed session to let us know, look, fellas, I know we Florida, but we got to be Florida on the field, not Florida through tradition. A lot of stuff has to do with guys that came before us. Let us build our own. I mean, the bricks that y'all see out there, other people stack those. We got to stack some because for Billy Napier, sometimes the best love a coach can give a player is tough love. Give them some tough love to let them know, look, there's going to be much to do about nothing if we don't go out there and handle our business. I know we look good in the weight room with these reels that we be doing. We got to show them that it's real. I know we got the reels REEL. We got to be REAL when it's time, man.
Rob?
I'd spend 2 hours, first of all, having the team watch as a complete team Swamp Kings. And then I would look to see that my number ones are playing and practicing as hard as my 2s and 3s.
All right. Rob, who you got on the show tomorrow?
A lot of folks, I know Dudley Dawson. I'm still waiting on one more. Dudley Dawson, Hogville.net. Vince Ferrara, the sports animal up in Knoxville. Waiting to see if Billy Lucci can join us, talking some Texas A&M. Look here, is it true that both of y'all have made a bet that if Florida loses to Texas A&M this year, you're both going to do this show on Tuesday night with me wearing Texas A&M cheerleader outfits? Is that true?
No, that ain't gonna happen to me.
Oh no, that would be Chris Doring and Peter Burns.
Yeah. They gonna have to make a deal with somebody. I don't know which one of those announcers was from Texas A&M. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
that was priceless, man.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
McFly, I've had it with you.
Ben, who we looking forward to seeing on the 84 Reasons podcast?
Man, we got some guys coming up, man. Guys that I had a chance to play with. Guys like Lito Shepard going to be coming up. Earl Everett going to be coming up. Kelvin Kite going to be coming up. Marcus Trap Thomas going to be coming up. Mincy gonna be coming up. So we gonna let them youngins know that even though we old enough to be their dads now, we had our time in it. We had our time on that green grass back in the day.
Right, no doubt. Well, fellas, really appreciate you guys coming on. Shout out to Coach Kelly Rae Finley for blessing us. Definitely friend of the show. Think a lot of Kelly. I mean, she's a great basketball coach, but an even better person, and very, very lucky to call her a friend. Rob, definitely appreciate you. Continue doing what you're doing. Ben, you already know what it is. We'll see you next week. Recording live from somewhere. Have a good evening.
Good night.
All right.
Peace.
Thank y'all.